Okay. Good evening, everyone. It is June 13th, 2024, and I'd like to welcome you all to the meeting of the South Brunswick Board of Education and to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good.
Way to go.
Very good. That was very good. Okay. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10-4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law, was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. The primary purpose was for board members to discuss and vote on board business. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the board secretary has caused notice of this meeting 48 hours prior, including date, time, and location, to be posted in the South Brunswick Public Library, the board office, and filed with the township clerk, and communicated to the Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger. It is also posted on the district website. Mr. Porowski, may we have roll call?
Ms. Julie Ferrara. Ms. Laura Hernandez.
Here.
Ms. Deepa Karthik.
Here.
Ms. Alicia Khan.
Here.
Mr. Raja Krishna. Mr. Mike Mitchell.
Present.
Mr. Barry Nathanson.
Here.
Dr. Smitha Raj.
Here.
Ms. Lisa Rogers.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Next on the agenda is the approval of approval of agenda, sorry. May I have a motion and second to approve tonight's meeting agenda? Mr. Mitchell moves, second, Ms. Hernandez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion is accepted. Next order of business is the approval of minutes. Board Secretary Mr. Porowski's draft of the minutes from May 7th, 2024, board as well as executive minutes were posted on the board portal. Are there any changes by any members present? No, then the minutes stand as posted. Next is the report of the report of the student representative. However, before we move on to that report, I'm going to turn the mic over to our superintendent for a special announcement.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all coming out tonight for the budget meeting. Appreciate that. It's about 90 minutes. We're going to change the order: budget first, everything else after. Actually, the reason I'm talking first tonight is the last night of our student rep on the board. Deepan has done an amazing job, and a few things I'd like to say about her. So I want to share that although our district has faced great obstacles this year, Deepan always emails me and asks me to do extensive budget presentations. So Deepan, don't worry, I have an extra one for you tonight as your goodbye gift. But all kidding aside, she has done a great job at each meeting, keeping us informed of happenings at the high school, has been a great addition to our board. We're excited to share that her new role will be the Student Council President for the 24-25 school year. I am sure Deepan is eager to see what the future holds, and we wish her the best of luck for the future. We would like to present you with an engraved pen as a token of our appreciation and wish you well on this next chapter. And now Deepan is going to introduce and share a little about our new student representative, Samira Tuatia.
Good evening, everyone. Before I introduce our new Board of Education representative, I just wanted to say a few words of thanks. So I'd like to thank this board for this opportunity to be here at these board meetings and learn a bit more about our South Brunswick School District. The passion that I've seen from all of you for our schools and our students has been truly, truly inspiring. I'd also like to say that I am now officially Mr. Scott Fetter's #1 fan. And I'd like to thank Mrs. Olson and Mrs. Morris for all their unwavering support because I would not be here at this podium without their help. So without further ado, I am honored to announce the newly appointed Board of Education representative for the South Brunswick School District, Samira Tawadia. She is delighted. Samira is delighted to have the opportunity to serve both her fellow students and the community. Outside of school, she has dedicated herself for 7 years to being a student volunteer at Hindi USA, teaching young students to read and write in Hindi. She also enjoys doing Indian classical dance and inspiring young children to pursue their interests. In her free time, Samira enjoys going on runs, debating, and spending time with family and friends. As the Board of Education representative for the Student Council, she is eager to take on the responsibilities to create a positive learning environment for all students. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
Good evening, everyone. So starting off with some news from the high school. Student Council had a Spirit Day on June 7th for the torch run, and today was Throwback Thursday. Schools Out for Summer will be taking place on June 19th. Student Council also hosted the very successful Viking Cup volleyball tournament on June 10th and our annual Senior Sunset on June 11th. More than 500 seniors were in attendance, and they enjoyed Goldie's Ice Cream, Pizza Vita, Good Food, Good Mood, and Zeno's Bistro catering service. Additionally, there was space painting and henna and DJing. Our school also hosted the Viking Cup Home Run Derby at the softball field on June 13th. Seniors had a great time dancing and eating at senior prom at the Marigold on June 7th, and it was also a huge success. With the school year coming to a close, we are excited to remind everyone that graduation is next week on June 20th at Cure Insurance Arena. Congratulations to all the graduating seniors of the class of 2024. Now for athletics. The girls' track and field team had a successful end to a great season over the past few weeks. The team finished second at the Central Jersey Group 5 Sectional Championship meet. Violet Goldila placed 5th in the pole vault, and Emanuela Coroma placed 6th in the 400 hurdles. The 4x400 relay also ran one of the fastest times in the state history and placed 9th in the state. The boys' tennis team placed 2nd in the red division and top 20 in the state. Nitin Sankar received a top 16 medal for being one of the top players in the state of NJ for the second straight year. Akash Godate and Amrit Manjokumar finished in the top 32 double team in the state before falling to number 3 ranked in Westfield. The boys' track and field team won the NJSIA Central Jersey Group 5 State Sectional Championship at Hillsborough High School. The team was led by 7 sectional champions: Braden Paulman, Jason Kaiser, Mario Williams, Bryce Ellison, Jaden Davis, and Anshul Jha. That's all I have for you today, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
Thank you. And again, to Defun, from the entire Board of Education, thank you for your support and your work. You did an outstanding job. And to Samira, welcome. We look forward to hearing from you and the wonderful things happening around the district. Thank you. Okay, so the next order of business is the report of the president. There are three things. Tonight's agenda, just so everybody is aware, lists 3 public comment sessions. Please note that the first will be on the budget only, the second on questions regarding the consent agenda, and the third will be on any comment regarding any item. As advised to all Board of Ed members this week, we canceled the retreat that was originally scheduled for Tuesday, May 7th, due to the budget hearings, which took precedent. I would like to recommend that the retreat be held during our July 25th board meeting. I will address this again in new business if there is any need for a discussion. Finally, I just want to just a couple comments from the Board of Education. As we approach the end of yet another school year, we all members here of the Board of Ed would like to extend our gratitude to our teachers, our support staff, the administration, students, and families for their unwavering dedication and remarkable contributions throughout the year. Teachers, your commitment to providing a high-quality education to every student, regardless of their background or circumstance, is truly amazing. To the support staff, your collective contributions are the backbone of our school community, and we are profoundly grateful for your dedication. To the supervisors, the principals, the vice principals, and central office staff, your leadership sets the tone for our district, guiding and empowering every member to strive for greatness and achieve their fullest potential. I would like to also give a shout out to Mr. Carlson, Dave, and Marvin for your unwavering support during every board meeting. You're here every time we have it, and you do a fantastic job. To the parents, whose unwavering involvement and encouragement have played a pivotal role in our success, and your participation enriches the educational experience and strengthens our community immeasurably. Lastly, to our resilient and enthusiastic students, we commend you for your remarkable achievements and determination throughout the year. Your pursuit of knowledge, creativity, and personal growth is inspiring. Each of you have made significant strides, and we cannot be more proud of your achievements. As we approach graduation, please listen to the commencement speeches. See the pride on the faces of every single graduate, and the joy of the families and friends witnessing this achievement, and the thoughts of the possibilities that lie ahead. As we enter into summer break, it's a wonderful time for exploration, reading for pleasure, engaging activities. Make sure you all relax and recharge, preparing for our adventures ahead. Again, on behalf of the South Brunswick Board of Education, thank you all for your support and partnership. And for those coming back next year, we look forward to welcoming you back in the fall, refreshed and ready to embark on another year of growth and discovery. Have a great summer, everyone. Okay, so moving on, the next order of business is the report of the superintendent, Mr. Federer.
All right, thank you. First, welcome to our retirees that are here tonight and all the people that are out here to support them. It's a great showing tonight, so thank you all for coming. We have our Special Olympics and Unified Sports being honored tonight, as well as our spring athletes. So we have a lot going on tonight before the budget talk, promise. I have to share the tragic news that happened. You all should have received our communication about a house fire of one of our own high school families. If you would like to consider assisting the family, we did put out a GoFundMe link, and I'm sure donations are being greatly appreciated. It was a real bad situation. A little bit happier note, last day of school is June 20th, and that is followed actually by June 21st, which is the recognized day for Juneteenth. The school district will be closed on June 21st, but our last day for students is the 20th, and everyone will be off on the 21st. As you heard from President Rogers, we have our commencement and our graduates, and it's always an amazing opportunity for everyone to see how great our students are. So that's happening on the 20th at Q Arena in Trenton. And really after that, I know we have a lot going on tonight, so just wishing everyone, all of our students and families, a wonderful summer. And as Lisa said, recharge everyone. We all need to do that after a long year. So I'll turn it back over to you, and we'll get the show started.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so our first recognition will be that of our Special Olympics and the Unified Sports. I'd now like to call Mr. Rafael Morales, Director of Student Services, as well as Emily Wright, the Supervisor of Student Services, to the podium at this time.
Like the crowd. Good evening, members of the school board, school leaders, school staff, families, and students. My name is Rafael Morales. I am the Student Services Director for the school district, and I'm here to introduce our speakers and our students for tonight's recognition. I'm very grateful that this evening has grown to be an annual celebration. This is by far one of my personal favorites. Tonight, we will honor our wonderful Special Olympic athletes for the efforts and the accomplishments. We will also honor our Unified Sports Program participants, which is a newer opportunity for our students with disabilities to play sports and have fun with neurotypical classmates. Teams compete with other Middlesex County school districts with a unified program. We have unified sports at our high school. We have unified tennis, unified basketball, unified track, and at the middle school, we're starting with unified bowling. Tonight, you will meet our student athletes, our unified partners, These opportunities for inclusion are meaningful and benefit not just our students, but the school community and I believe society as a whole. So hopefully you'll see the fun and the enjoyment that goes on during the practices, the opportunity students have before the competitions. You'll see some images of the competition, and we'll celebrate their accomplishments and the inclusionary opportunities that are being had. So thank you. I will turn it over to Ms. Emily Wright, one of our special education supervisors.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Morales. These opportunities would not be possible without the help of a lot of individuals. So before I introduce our coaches, I would like to take a minute to thank a whole lot of people. So first, thank you to the Board of Education, our central office administration, as well as our middle school and high school principals. Mr. CJ Hendricks, our athletic director, and his assistant Kim Ryan have been very instrumental in this evening and throughout the entire season. Thank you to our school nurses and transportation department who allow our activities to be accessible after school hours. And thank you to our parents who cheer our students on, who drive them to and from practices and events. We could not do this without you. So finally, I would like to really thank our paraprofessionals and coaches who spend time after school and on weekends making this opportunity possible. And to start off, I would like to introduce our coaches for our middle school sports. We have with us tonight Mr. Dennis Shoro, Ms. Kelly Fortune, Ms. Kristen Celandano, and Mr. James Cosavera. So we'll start. We will start by honoring our middle school athletes and partners. I would like to invite Ms. Rogers up to the podium to help pass out certificates. And at this time, we'll have all of our middle school athletes and partners stand and come line up on the side here.
Hello, everybody. My name is James Cosavera. I work at Crossroads South and Autism Life Skills Program. I work with the bowling team and the coach for track and field. I want to thank the board, the district, administration, and everyone in between that helped make this season possible. Please, can everyone give a big round of applause for all of our athletes for the great season this year? Before we get started, you're going to see some pictures from our season and some great photos of all of our athletes. Thank you, everybody. Good job.
Oh, I'm doing the clicker? That's me. All right. How's it going, everybody? I'm Dennis Shoro. I'm one of the Unified Bowling coaches here, and I love the fact that we have this opportunity to do this with all my amazing, helpers and partners and coaches. It's an amazing opportunity, and love that we have this here, and hopefully continue to do it for a very, very long time. All right, we're going to go through our Unified Bowling, where we go to Bolero in North Brunswick, and in a little bit, we have our Special Olympics track and field. Wonderful times. And these are some of the opportunities we have after school club, where a lot of our neurotypical students get to hang out with our unified athletes. Lunch buddies, where they get to have time to learn a little bit about each other during lunchtime. And then one of our phys ed colleagues, Sarah Ahmed, she has unified gym after school, actually during their HAP, help and access time in their classes once or twice a month. And now we have our athletes here. Avanish Agarwal. Good job, bud. Suchir Alareddy. Sean Asonye. Phoenix Christian. Good job, bud. Joey Capola. Good job, bud. Good job, dude. Samarth Dhruv. Yuvi Japa. Purna Krithagavasan. Karthikeya Kusabanshi. Vin Lavin. John Longo. Shrenik Motamari. Emma Murawski. Uriel Navor. Callie Nichols. That's you. Sai Nuthan Nakalva. Demon Panda. Vivek Parmar. Devanshi Patel. Arnav Rama. Abhinav Shanmugam. Good job, bud. Ishan Shrivastava. And we have some of our bowling partners here right now. We have Alexis Monday, Chloe Baltazar, Abigail Lynch, Christian Burkowski, Ajay Rosario Mohandas. There we go. And that is our middle school unified Vikings team.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce our high school coaches and athletes. Here tonight, we have with us Coach Casey Kelly, we have Coach Craig Schwartz, and not here this evening is Mr. Billy Smith. At this time, we would like to have all of our high school athletes and partners stand and come line up on the side.
Yeah. Just for refresh my memory, how do I go to the next slide? Is it the big button?
Just press the middle button.
Tell me what to do. Just push me So I'm gonna talk like Josh and Ron, and I'm just gonna no, I'll go up to Josh and Ron.
Oh, okay,
Like
sure.
Are you good with those? You want me to split those?
Oh, no, I can. Sue, we can, whatever you want.
Hello, everyone. I'm Coach Kelly, one of the unified basketball coaches here at South Brunswick High School. I'm truly honored to be a part of this program. Both the volunteers and the student athletes really make our job just a true joy. So without further ado, I'm going to announce the unified athletes, but before that, some of the events that we have at the high school is unified tennis. We have Special Olympics bowling, unified basketball, and unified track. All right, so first up we have Fauzan Alam, who's not here tonight. Hadi Aslam, who's also not here tonight. Larry Bouchonville. Abanay Chalori. We do have some athletes here. Kaviachowski. Yeah, Mason Goodman. Good job. Are you going to have a seat? Good job. You can check. Anisha John. Jacob Johnson. Anahat Claire. Abigail Manna. Ava Mariano. Josh Nemo, he's here. And I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Sports, who is going to say the rest of the names.
Well done, Coach. Well done.
Gotcha. Hi, everyone. My name is Craig Schwartz. I just want to quickly say what an amazing experience was working with the Unified Athletes and the partners. It was just an incredible experience for me, coaching 3 sports, tennis, basketball, and track. And I'm so glad we recognized. Thank you for giving us the time up here. All right, let's continue here. Ethan Olivici. Oop. Why don't you take that? I'll just announce names. There we go.
There we go.
Anthony Pacilio.
Anthony, there we go.
I'm a hero.
You are. David Pillapil. Good job. Maria Qureshi. Good job, Maria. Rishi Ramkumar. Keith Sims. Advaita Sriram.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Shrestha Thapi. Akshay Vindokumar. Sulema Yusuf. Rumesa Zainab. All right, would like to take a minute to just recognize the partners. These students come out, they give up their time to spend their time with us after school. We have a lot of practices, handful of games and competitions, and they do this out of the kindness of their heart. I just want to give a big thank you to all the partners. Your work and volunteerism is greatly appreciated from all of us.
Oh. Yeah, we have certificates, Craig, so we can just run through.
Yeah. Middle school too?
No, just high school.
There we go. All right, so let's recognize our partners. Catherine Cannon. Mohammed Dasuki. John Drabati. Well done. Danny Duffy. Osmi Jane. Ronan Kazibo Rahili. Good job, bud. Miriam Lakmini. Jessica Mastromonica. Zain Mogadadi. Yeah, Zain. Nice job. Husnain Siddiqui. Jackie Schneider. Serena Shrivastava.
Thank you so much for dedicating your time.
Connor Tarlecki. Not here? Connor. Samira Tawadi. Ashi Vala. Stuthi Vishwanathan. Last but definitely not least, Jacob Walczak. Way to go, bud. Thank you all very much for taking a moment. Just one more hand for all the partners, the athletes, and the coaches. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
It was a lot of fun. We good?
Do I have permission to dismiss our friends?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
please, all the
Athletes
individuals
and
that received it.
families, if you would like to head out, take pictures, you're welcome to. You're also welcome to stay. Thank you.
We'll take 5 minutes, not a problem. Okay, we're going to move on. The second recognition tonight will be a review of our spring athletics by our Director of Athletics, CJ Hendricks. You can approach the podium, sir.
Everyone, welcome South Brunswick, and thank you so much for being here to support our high school spring sports program and our middle school spring sports program. First off, thank you to the Board of Education, district leadership, building administration at both the middle school and high school levels for just your tremendous amount of support. Our athletes do everything they can to represent South Brunswick in the highest regard, and you're going to see tonight, once again, what a great product our program is. And I want to make a special thank you, not just to the people sitting up here, but everyone in South Brunswick, our entire district leadership team, all the admin who worked tirelessly to make sure that we did everything that we can to preserve programs like athletics. I want to thank our elementary principals for letting me go down and speak to their 5th graders. I want to thank Crossroads principals for letting me speak to the 8th graders to talk about how great our program is. You're going to see tonight what great examples our student athletes are. But thank you to everybody for your continued support. The first thing that we're going to do is recognize our middle school program. We have a slideshow that was put together by Mr. Adam Farhi that highlights all 3 of our seasons, fall, winter, and spring. While it's being queued up, I'll thank all of our middle school coaches throughout the school year. We share a lot of staff between middle school and high school level. We have a lot of staff that come from out of district as well. We had a number of alumni who came back who coached our middle school programs, and we're happy with the fact that we have such great leaders leading our children at a very developmental stage of our middle school career. So they are future Vikings. We're excited for them to continue to move on. And now, as we prepare the video, please enjoy. Thank you again to Mr. Adam Farhi for putting that great video together to highlight our middle school programs. Once again, thank you to our building principals, Bonnie Keeps and Kim Bino, for their continued support, as well as their administrative teams and all the people who help out our middle school level to provide these experiences for our student athletes. I'd now like to start the portion of our segment to recognize some of our student athletes from South Brunswick High School. As you've seen over the last, throughout the school year, we recognize both fall and winter sportsmanship award winners, and tonight is no different. We're going to be recognizing our spring sports athletes sportsmanship award recipients for their respective teams. So I'm going to ask all of our high school athletes to come up and be presented. The testimonials that I'm going to read are from their coaches who recognize them for this prestigious award. The GMC Sportsmanship Award is something we give out to a male and a female each year, and now thankful, for the support of our district to recognize all of our teams. So first up, Miss Allie Kong, girls lacrosse. Allie exemplifies outstanding sportsmanship through her exceptional communication skills, fostering team cohesion, and positive relationships both on and off the field. Her ability to effectively convey ideas and motivate her peers makes her a valuable asset and deserving of this recognition. Congratulations, Allie. Miss Marianne Murphy is going to kill me for this. Miss Lisa Rogers, can you please come up and hand out these certificates with me? The one thing she asked me to do was remind me. Thank you. Our next recipient is Mr. Arab Sampat from boys volleyball. Rob exemplifies true sportsmanship through his exceptional leadership, dedication, and hard work, making him a role model for all his teammates and peers. His understanding of his role in the team and his positive attitude is a highlight of his outstanding character and commitment to excellence. Congratulations, Arab. Next up is Samir Srivastava from boys golf. Although Samir had the best average on the team in each of his 4 years, the thing I'm most proud is his social growth. He went from being an introvert to an individual who actually welcomed our opponents to every course. He grew as a leader, and his teammates and opponents all enjoyed hitting the links with him every day. Congratulations, Samir. Next up is Miss Angela Awusu Ansa from girls track and field. Angela is a supportive, caring teammate who always has a positive team-first attitude. She's dedicated, hardworking, and helps inspire her teammates. Congratulations, Angela. Next up is Mr. Nicholas Stenger from baseball. Nick embodied the characteristics of a true team leader. He worked tremendously hard throughout the course of this season to be the best player he could be for our program, and no matter what role he was asked to fill, he did it with the best of his ability and always put the team first. I, for one, as someone who used to coach baseball, would have loved to coach a kid like Nick. Congratulations, Nick. Next up, Ryan Rubin, boys lacrosse. Ryan was an exemplary teammate and leader on the field this season. He played hard and for his team and showed the respect for the game and his opponents. Coming a long way since his junior campaign, he really demonstrated what it was to step up to the plate and show respect to the game as the game showed respect back to him. Congratulations. Next up is Gianna Angermeyer from softball. Gianna is the perfect example of a team player. As a team captain, she set high expectations for her teammates in the area of respect for the game, coaches, opponents, and umpires. Her leadership promotes good sportsmanship on all levels. Congratulations, Gianna. Anushka Swant, girls golf. Girls from opposing teams continually comment on what a great experience it is to be in a match with Anushka. She is great for the sport and will continue to lead with character and class at the collegiate level. She is also GMC individual champion for this year. Congratulations. And finally, before I name some of our athletes who weren't able to make it, Alexis Lee Springer, girls flag football. Alexis demonstrates leadership, respect, and responsibility in every aspect. She's a multi-sport student athlete and a fierce competitor who makes everyone around her better. She was recently selected as the South Brunswick High School representative for the GMC Student Athlete Advisory Committee for the 2024 and 25 school year, and I cannot tell you how proud I am that we have her representing our school as a student athlete. She really does show exactly what it means to be a Viking. Congratulations. Just want to recognize a couple of our student athletes who couldn't make it. Mr. Amrit Manoj Kumar from boys tennis. Amrit is the heart of our team. He encourages the entire team to be the best they can be and is the first to congratulate opponents in loss, in defeat, in wins. But beyond his successes, he's just an all-around great character person. So congratulations, Amrit. And Mr. Dylan Coy from boys track. Dylan always brings a welcoming, competitive spirit to both practice and meets. What makes him unique is that he's not only open to making everyone have a positive experience, but his great energy is always available for his teammates as well. And not only when we need it, it also includes his interactions with officials, spectators, and other competitors. Congratulations, Dylan. Before we pull up the video for the high school spring video, I want to take a moment to thank a couple, as I call them, unsung heroes. Kim and Kathy Ahern are two amazing people that I get to work with on a day-to-day. They truly, make our athletic department move in such a great direction. They're always accessible to our kids, and they always put our kids first, so thank you to them. Laura Morris and Harley Olson, a great team. I really try and embody the energy that I have in our department with the energy that they exude throughout their program, whether it be through Stuco, Fleet, student activities. So a big shout out to them, and I have just such a pleasure working with them. Our athletic trainers, nurses, our grounds crew, custodians, nurses that work on our physicals, which they do a great job, athletic support staff, and the person who created this next video, Mr. Thomas Presti. We talk about the theme Forever Vikings. He's a great example of it. He's an alumni of our school. He runs his own production company, and he takes time out of his busy schedule to help put together a product like you're about to see so that our kids can share it, enjoy it, and showcase the great things that our programs do here in South Brunswick. So thank you to all those unsung heroes. All right, and we can now cue up the high school spring highlight video.
What's up, Vikings? This is Mr. Hendricks, Athletic Director at South Brunswick High School, and I'm here to share with you our spring sports highlight video. This year, we faced a lot of adversity throughout our school year. South Brunswick Vikings have done everything they can to represent our school community in the best light, not only in the classroom, but outside on the field as well. We've persevered through a lot, and this video will show you how much joy and excitement our sports program brings to South Brunswick school community. Thank you, and enjoy the video. Vikings have stepped up to the challenge. They've done everything that we've asked them to do in the classroom, out on the field, and in the community. They've shown what it means to be a Viking and to do things the Viking way. Throughout all the tough times, they've persevered through, and we're so excited that they've been able to have the amazing experiences and memories to carry on forever. Thank you for all your continued support, and we hope that you continue to support our athletic program as we move into next school year. Go Vikings!
Again, thank you to Thomas Pressey for that. We had a bunch of different glitches with the video today, so I apologize. We had a couple things that got cut, but we're going to make sure we update and get it to the YouTube page so we get the final cut up there. So I just thank you him for being so flexible with me. Lastly, before I wrap up, I want to thank once again the support of not just South Brunswick. I want to thank SBEA. I want to thank district leadership. I want to thank everybody who had a hand in providing us with the ability to maintain our athletic program despite everything the district has gone through this year. Sports is a big reason why kids come to school every day, for a lot. The activities that we provide, the arts, music, all those things that are outside the classroom are really important things to kids. And the fact that we're able to maintain those despite everything that we've been through, I appreciate all those groups for their continued support and making sure that we kept those great things and those memories here at South Brunswick for our kids. Finally, congratulations to our unified athletes. Congratulations to our retirees. Best of luck in the greater years of your lives approaching. And I hope that you can reflect back on your experience here at South Brunswick as positive ones. And thank you again to everybody who supports our program. Go Vikings, and have a great night.
Thank you, Mr. Hendricks. You've added wonderful things to the sports program, and on behalf of the Board of Ed, we thank you for that. To every single athlete out there, congratulations. Being an athlete and being a student is not easy. No matter what you participate in and after school, it's tough. So we wish you all the best in your college career, no matter where you're going. We expect great things to hear back on. Thank you again. And I will be more than happy to dismiss you guys so you don't have to sit through Mr. Fetter's budget. So we'll take 5 minutes again. Congratulations. Okay. Oh, I get to do it so much tonight. It's so much fun. Okay, we're going to move on to the final recognition of the evening is the recognition of our 2023-2024 retirees. And Ms. Suzanne Luckborn has already beat me to the punch. Our assistant superintendent is at the podium. It's all yours.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening, and I certainly hope our retirees had an opportunity to maybe see a familiar face in one of the students that has been before you so far. We do have another group of students that maybe you'll recognize them from some of the time that they may have spent with you through your years here in South Brunswick. So before we begin, I do want to note that our testimonial booklet that we will be referring to at times during this evening's presentation can be scanned up here in the presentation or in the booklet that you received. You may, the brochure, you may look at that at a later time. But at this time, I'd like to ask our Board of Education members to come have a seat in the front. I'd like to welcome Mr. Aldo Aranzula and his SBHS concert choir. They're going to begin our program with some song this evening.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, first of all, to the board for inviting us to perform for you guys once again. We were last year in the winter. We are also very honored not just to perform for the spring, but also to celebrate and honor our retirees. And we have two song selections that we'd like to perform for you today. These two songs were featured in our spring concert, which you can check out the whole performance on our VTN's YouTube page, and for the whole entire thing. But we would like to dedicate especially our very first piece that we're going to sing for you, called Long Road by Eric Essenboltz, to our retirees. And Keith Wallington, I'd like to mention especially because he is, one of the Crossroads North choir director, and he's retiring this year, and he has raised half of my students, and half of my students behind me. And I wanted to just give him a special shout out because without him, I wouldn't have these talented people behind me. So we'd like to dedicate Long Road to Keith, to the retirees, and to our seniors.
Sky.
selection, a piece entitled Cloudburst by Eric Whitaker. We're actually only going to sing for you an excerpt of this piece because the first half is a beautiful a cappella piece with Spanish text, which I'll get to in a second. But then the last half has instruments and bells and is supposed to replicate a cloudburst, which is basically a giant, loud, crazy thunderstorm. So we're not going to do that part, but we're going to do the part before all of that stuff happens. If you want to watch the whole, if you want to find out the rest, though, YouTube, VTN. All right, but the text is in Spanish, and the text is very humanitarian. It's very environmentalist. It is very deep with a lot of symbolic meaning, but it also just sounds really cool. And this choir loves this piece. I love this piece very, very much, and we're very excited to share it with you tonight. Once again, thank you so much for having us perform for you, and welcome to Cloudburst. Once again, thank you all so much for letting us perform for you all. I hope you all enjoyed our performance, and we can't wait to celebrate more music with you. And before I let these students go, I just also wanted to take a second to recognize not only the incredible musicianship behind me. These people behind me are absolutely incredible. They inspire me and teach me so much every single day. But I also wanted to give a special extra shout out also to the senior class behind me for dedicating 1, 2, 3, even 4 full years of service, dedication, musicianship, and just the effort and passion into making what you just heard tonight absolutely possible. So please just give me a moment to recognize Thank you all so much. Thank you.
I'm grateful that our choir was able to be here this evening. As Mr. Aranzula said, this is that time of the year where our high school students are in the midst of final exams, so allow them to be able to leave. And I'm super impressed that they had warmed up those voices more than an hour ago before they were able to perform, and it just sounded tremendous. So how grateful are we for that talent? Yep. So now we get to move on to the talent of the adult kind here in our auditorium this evening, and these are a special group of individuals who have dedicated time and service to the South Brunswick School District, and this is your moment to be recognized and acknowledged. I do know that at the school levels, you are often celebrated amongst your colleagues, but this is the opportunity for the public recognition of the work that you've done here in front of our board as a whole. As we talk this evening, I want you to know that we take into account that we have retirees that announce in June, and so they may not make this evening's recognition because we have a lot of preparation. So some of the people we will be honoring tonight actually retired in June, July, and August of last summer. Yep. Some of our retirees have already settled into retirement and are relocated, traveling, and doing some of those things. So not all were able to join us, but I do know a few were able to come back as they were local. So let me tell you a little bit about our retirees. This will give you an idea of what we're going to accomplish during this time together this evening. So our retirees are 35 staff members, and they come from all walks within our system, from custodians to secretaries to bus drivers to administrators to teachers throughout our system. Collectively, 883 years of experience. And that exceeds last year. So what a tremendous amount of knowledge about to walk out our door. And I know that as true educators, you have imparted some of your skills to those that will follow behind you. Our longest tenure employee, I think this is fun to recognize someone who has been in the system and is retiring, has been here for 37 years. I don't think I see her here, but Valerie Grunke, who is a secretary at the high school currently, 37 years. Crazy. And there are some close seconds. There are some folks that are being recognized this evening with 30 years of experience and 20 years of experience. And that experience may come from your time here in is just your time in South Brunswick. Some of you might be on a second school or location in education. So our program cover tonight was designed by an elementary student, a first grader at Greenbrook Elementary School, Habiba El Saba. Her work was chosen during the district art show, the art gallery earlier this spring, and chosen for display on our program cover. And so we thank her for sharing this wonderful piece of art with us. So Principal Rogers, I'm going to, Principal, ooh, I've given you a new title. President Rogers has come up to help me give out our gifts. And for the staff members here, I think that you will be able to follow these directions. We're going to ask for the letters A through G, if your last name is A through G, to come line up here to be recognized. And I'm going to ask if there are any admin here that would like to stand with your employee, please do so. I feel like it's a graduation. They're all here ready to accept their recognition.
There she is. She's like, I'm going.
Some are more eager than others. Okay. I'd like to thank, before we get going, my assistant, Miss O'Donnell, who really helped behind the scenes. She greeted you this evening with the programs, helped with the slides, and I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my daughter, who used her tech skills to kind of help put this so that it looked just right this evening. So our first is Anna Alfieri, a supervisor at SBHS. In the testimonial that was written for Anna, as a supervisor, Anna is a leader, mentor, cheerleader, confidant, and a friend. So Anna, congratulations. I am going to acknowledge even those that are not in attendance in case they are watching from afar or see this replayed. So the next is Mark Babich, a teacher at SBHS. And just to read a little excerpt, Mark is an energetic master of storytelling. Congratulations to Mark. Next is Lynn Bauer, who is a secretary at Crossroads South. And really is commended for her attention to detail and her ability to remember every student in our school. So congratulations to Lynn. Next is our counselor from Indian Fields Elementary, Amy Bertelson Robles. Sorry about that. Sorry to be late. Okay, Amy is a model for compassion, dedication, and advocacy. She is the perfect school counselor in every way. Amy brings experience, professionalism, and a sense of purpose to all that she does. So congratulations. Is Grace here? See Grace. So Grace Biondi is a paraprofessional at the Dean's site, and she leaves behind a legacy of unwavering dedication and exceptional service. Congratulations to Grace. Frances Brees is a bus driver for our district. Frances was always safe and reliable and cared about all the students on her bus. We congratulate Grace on her retirement. Frances.
Thank you, Suzanne.
So wait. Boys and girls, who is this? So Brian Berniston is a teacher at Constable School. He had been a staple in the physical education department. Brian's journey as a physical education teacher has been defined by his unwavering professionalism and steadfast commitment to his students, colleagues, and the broader school community. Congratulations, Brian. You really haven't changed much from your photo.
Really? That was September.
So Lisa Cerrone is a teacher at Crossroads South. Teaching was a natural as breathing for Lisa. She always knew what students needed to be successful. Congratulations on your retirement. Another Crossroads teacher, Lisa Cohen, teacher at Crossroads South. Oh, you have some fans too. So Lisa is always eager to participate in the ebbs and flow of our middle school schedule. She brings her strong beliefs and knowledge to the table. Her influence will continue to be a part of our school for the years to come. Congratulations. Jennifer DiLorenzo is a teacher right here at Crossroads North. From the moment a child steps into Jen's classroom, they are greeted with warmth, enthusiasm, and a genuine passion for teaching. Jen has an innate ability to create a nurturing and fun-loving environment where every child feels valued and empowered. And based on some of your fans here, we can tell that you've left a lasting impression. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you. So I'm also, while I'm going through the next set of slides, I'm going to ask anyone with the last name H through M to come join us over here. Marianne Gagalan is paraprofessional at Crossroads North. Mary Ellen is friendly and reliable. So congratulations to Mary Ellen. Tim Gantz has already retired. He was a custodian at our high school site. We have always appreciated Tim's laughter and his overall kindness towards others. Congratulations, Tim. Valerie Grunke, secretary at the high school. Valerie's professional presence is deeply appreciated. Congratulations to Valerie. In looking at pictures, you could tell who hasn't had an updated ID badge in a while. Just someone who's been here 37. She's really looks good for being here in education that long.
Looks just like that.
Retiring from Cambridge School is Brenda Hirschberger. She is a teacher. She has been in several buildings in our district. While Brenda is quiet and humble in spirit, her dedication to her craft speaks volumes through her actions. Congratulations to Brenda. Diane Heyer is a secretary at SBHS. Diane has handled all of her responsibilities with grace and precision and has been reliable and dedicated. Her work ethic and determination made an impact on all. And for those of you that don't know, she works in the attendance office and spends time with many of our high school students who have to stop in and get those late passes and all of that. I'm sure you're going to miss it. Congratulations to Diane.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. No, you too. Thank you. Yes.
So next is Kimberly Knapp, paraprofessional at Brooks Crossing. Kim's hard work ethic, infused with common sense and genuine caring for others, made her a trusted resource in our school. So congratulations to Kim Knapp. Elizabeth Kotarski is a paraprofessional, Crossroads North. I don't see Liz here. Liz was a friend to everyone who walked into the library. Congratulations on your retirement, Liz. So Anthony LaBarbera, Buildings and Grounds. Tony has helped members of his team and has shared his secrets of the trades so that others can be successful. Congratulations to Anthony or Tony. Okay. Sandy Loeffler-Weingart is a speech language therapist at Greenbrook School and has worked in several other elementary buildings. Sandy's colleagues speak highly of her and her helpful and compassionate nature. So congratulations to Sandy. Pam McCarroll was one of those July 1, 2023. So Pam is not with us this evening, but congratulations to Pamela McCarroll, Secretary at Dayton. Pam McCarroll has been the face, mother, and protector of Dayton School. Congratulations. Carla Mail is a counselor at SBHS. Carla is hardworking, caring, and diligent. We want to congratulate Carla on her retirement.
That's great.
Is that the original ID?
Yes.
Okay. So Misty Malanga is a teacher at SBHS. Misty worked hard each day to support her students in the various science classes that she has taught. She also served as a beloved coach for softball, field hockey, and swimming. Her student athletes knew she would not only guide them through the challenges they faced on the field, but in the classroom as well. You will be missed. Susan McDermott, paraprofessional at Indian Fields. Susan has always been flexible, accommodating, nurturing, compassionate, caring, dedicated, and hardworking, and she has also already started her retirement. So I'm going to ask those with the last names of O through Z to join us. Inside. So Beth McGinley is a teacher at SBHS. Beth prioritized meaningful connections over academic achievements and created a supportive environment where students felt seen and heard. Congratulations. I don't see Karen Molnar. Karen Molnar, paraprofessional at Greenbrook, also started her retirement. Karen was always calm, cool, and collected, even in the face of challenging situations. Congratulations to Karen. Lizette Matola, teacher at Greenbrook Elementary. She also taught, I believe, at Brunswick Acres. The classroom has always been Lizette's second home, and we wish her well in retirement. Congratulations, Lizette. Stanley Olson, Buildings and Grounds. Stan has always been willing to step in and help wherever needed. We congratulate Stan on his upcoming retirement this summer. All right, Kim Phillips, I don't see, paraprofessional at our high school. Kim was the sunshine in every day. She would always bring dedication, learning, and fun to any student. Congratulations, Kim. I think she's already started retirement. All right, Karen Piemonte is a paraprofessional Dayton School. Karen has nurtured and guided students through their educational milestones. Congratulations on your retirement, Karen. Deborah, or Debbie Roby, is a counselor, or was a counselor up until December, I believe, at Crossroads North. Debbie has cared for many students, staff, and families and has touched an immeasurable number of lives. She managed it all with a smile on her face and always made everyone feel welcomed in her presence. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Clyde Rossell was a custodian at Dayton School. Clyde cared about doing the best job possible and being friendly to all those he interacted with. So congratulations to Clyde. Deborah Slavin, paraprofessional at Monmouth Junction School. Deborah has consistently displayed exceptional dedication, passion, and commitment to the children she supports. So congratulations to Debbie. Okay, our next honoree is here, so come on down. Michelle Turkildison. Wait, say it again. Turkildson, thank you. Sorry. Michelle is a teacher at our high school. Michelle's positive impact and love for teaching has touched the lives of many students. Each day, she adjusts her teaching to directly address the unique needs of her learners. So congratulations on your retirement. All the best. Keith Watlington is a teacher here at Crossroads North. Keith is a passionate educator who is committed to and demands excellence. Congratulations to Keith on his retirement. So closing out and honoring retirees this evening, I think you get Z gets a lot of last. I should have thought about reversing it, but Ethan Zimmer is a teacher at SBHS. Just as the students benefited from Dr. Zimmer's teachings, we all appreciated his sense of humor and engagement with the school community. So congratulations on your retirement.
And that's this year's picture.
Great. So that's kind of sweet that it is your current photo to kind of end today. So one of the things I think is important to share is that in honor of all of you and the other retirees, your school library media specialist has selected a book to dedicate and leave in your school library. If it was an employee who worked in buildings and grounds or worked as a bus driver, we selected a school that made a logical choice for them to have a book in their honor, so those will be placed in the libraries. I want to thank our media specialists who helped us to select those titles, and they will be put on rotation for students to check out, and there'll be a nameplate in there honoring your retirement. In each of your bags, there is a personalized gift, and I'd like to share that as a public school, we are not able to buy gifts for our employees. I know that doesn't make much sense, right? You've dedicated your whole career here, and we are not allowed to use our money from our budget to buy those gifts. So we cannot send you off in that way. So the leadership team here at South Brunswick made donations to put together and make a gift for you possible. It is a token of our appreciation for your years of service here. So what each person has in their gift bag is a framed testimonial. It is the full testimonial. Some of those testimonials fill up the entire frame. It is written by colleagues, administrators. They collaborated on giving you a very personalized message of what you've meant to them and to your school communities. In addition, students from Sense of Acceptance, which is our 18 to 21 Transition Center students, some of those athletes that were here this evening, work there. And in that center, which is located at Cambridge School, they make merchandise that is for sale. And so I had the privilege to go shopping, and the students helped me pick out gifts that are in each of your bags. Each of you gets a special gift based on something that stood out as we read your testimonials, and we put the gifts in there. So you have one of these three things, and it'll be a surprise. You either have a pack of personalized homemade cards that you may use. You may have gotten a fidget keychain for autism awareness. You may also have gotten seed dumplings that you can use to kind of have that rebirth in your planters or gardens. So those are some of the gifts, and our students crafted those for you, and they're in that bag. There is also just a small gift card that you can use to have that favorite adult drink from a local coffee shop on that first day when you don't need to rush around and can drink and enjoy that. So we hope that you enjoy that as well. So we've heard from our high school choir. We've also had some elementary student artwork featured, but we have some words of wisdom brought to us by Dr. Jack Medina working with our middle school students, and this is always that moment to hear what those voices think retirement is and offer you well wishes. So we're gonna play that short clip now.
So retirement, right? So it's a time like after hard work where you can relax and not worry about anything.
For me, retirement means that you've worked for a while and then you're ready to retire and you're ready to relax.
To me, retirement means after basically a life of work, a life of providing, that you're getting ready to maybe relax, take some time for yourself, and do what you want after and not go to work or anything, just relax.
And start to use the money that you've saved up all the time so far and just not work.
Being able to work without stressing about anything.
Being able to work without stress or anything.
Retirement is working hard your whole life and having time to relax.
It means when you're rich enough and like you don't have to work anymore.
Get your pension.
Retirement to me means after adulthood, you're all rested, you can rest and all.
Point in your life where the state is all right, you've worked enough, go be free, we'll pay you once, we'll pay you what you need to be paid to continue living. And it's kind of you've done enough things.
Really good, yeah.
Without working, you can live comfortably.
A time to relax after your life of hard working and earning money, where you can finally relax and have a good time after you work hard.
They're simple enough to stop working and take care of themselves.
I think after working all of your years, I think you should have a time for relaxation and just sing.
So when you retire, you're done with all your work.
Good.
Relax.
These are for the people who are retiring. You will be missed by your students, and we are all happy for what you've done, and you've made a big impact on the school.
Hope you have a good time in your retirement, and make sure you enjoy the rest of your life.
I wish you all good luck, and good luck whatever you do next.
So in advance of tonight, the retirees had an opportunity to answer two questions for me that I think are worth sharing some of the insights that came from this group. So first, tell us one thing you will miss about South Brunswick. And of course, the resounding answer from almost all of them was colleagues, the great people. They shouted out specific schools, but we won't do that tonight. The students, the staff, the families. I will miss my colleagues. I will miss my family at school. I will miss feeling like a rock star the way students treat me. I'll definitely miss the staff, the daily interactions, supportive co-workers, and the people I've worked with. And so this is a people profession. It often is what keeps us coming back every day, whether it is that colleague, whether it is that student, whether it's that family you've established a really good relationship with. So that all makes sense in how you all responded similarly, not knowing. And then I asked them what they plan to do in retirement. And they all had some similar things. Again, some people are quickly going off on a trip and looking forward to traveling. Some people are just looking forward to relaxing. Some have already decided that they are going to spend some time in service to others, volunteering. Some are looking forward to enjoying time with grandchildren. Some are looking to pick up a new hobby. And some are looking to continue learning. And it is all about that. We are in a profession not only of people, but of learning. And I know that each of you is going to go off and continue with this next chapter with positivity and excitement for what lies ahead. And we hope that tonight we honored just a small bit the time that you've spent and committed to the students' families of South Brunswick. So congratulations on your retirement.
So, on behalf of the Board of Education, I really would like to extend our deepest gratitude to each and every one of you for your service to the South Brunswick School District. This is a very special occasion for you. And as you bid farewell to the most noble profession, know that each of you will remain forever in our hearts, and many of the students, past, present, and staff alike. Good luck to each and every one of you in your retirement. Enjoy it. So as the last thing that you might want to do, I don't know, is to sit to hear from your superintendent for the last time. But if you would like to step out and leave, we completely understand. You might want to enjoy your family and friends that are here with you. So we'll take 2 minutes if you want to stay. You're more than welcome to stay. Okay, so the next order of business is the final public hearing of the revised budget for 24-25. Superintendent Feder, Business Administrator Pulowski will approach the podium. After they present, they also will answer any questions from the board first on the budget. Then if there's any questions from the public, we'll be more than happy to entertain them. Thank you. Do you want us to move out there, or are we okay?
No, you don't have to move.
Okay.
You're welcome to move. But
no, that's fine.
I guess I would start with the board and just ask a question. My question is relatively simple. Before we had the retirees, we had clubs, we had the sports, we had our students who get involved. You saw from our music program. So I guess my question to the board is, which of those things do you not want anymore? Which ones? Because pretty much, if this doesn't go well tonight, that's the conversation tomorrow morning, is which ones do we want to cut? If it's not this year, it's going to be next year. So we're going to go through the budget, and I want you to think about that, because this is kind of where we've been. This is what we've been dealing with for years. So let's go ahead and do this. So first of all, this is bizarre that we're here. Why are we doing this? So why is there a second budget hearing this year? Three reasons. One, the state gave us back 45% of our state aid that they took from this year, so we had to manage that. And then there's two pieces of legislation, one that allows us to go above the 2%, and one that allows us to hold this meeting because we already adopted a budget in May, but we have to adopt it again, obviously because if we are looking to change anything, we have to do that. So why is there a recommendation? So superintendent's job is to make recommendations to the board. My recommendation to this board is to utilize the bill to its maximum, which is an 8.93% increase. Why would we do that? We need financial stability. We do not have that currently. David is telling us right now we have about $7 million less in our budget at the end of this year than we are used to having. That's what we are just barely going to get by for the end of the month. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but as of right now, in the last 7 years, we are down almost $30 million. That's the reality. This is what this does. So let me go back that up 1 second. That's where we are as of this minute. Hopefully in about 25 to 30 minutes, we'll be in a different place. This is what happens. Our state aid number is not taken away 1.4 million. Sadly, we are excited about only losing 775,000. What that does is it lowers how much our total loss is. Then the big number is this 2%. Normally the 2%, as you can see, is usually about 2.5, 2.6 million. This year, 8.93% represents 10.8 million. That means even after tonight, if you all vote yes, or 5 of you vote in favor of this recommendation, that means over the last 7 years, we're only down $20 million. This is not the end game. This is just allows us to operate, to do the great things for kids. But we've done a lot to avoid being in a bad place. But tonight is the ultimate to keep us out of a bad place. So what happens? Why am I recommending this tonight? So we can maintain, improve, and grow our programs. So we can maintain our class size. And this is the motto I started the year with our administrators. If your problem requires money to solve it, you still have a problem. That is how we operated. No new money, don't ask. The answer is no. We want to be able to consider what else is possible for our students, for our families, for this community. We don't even have those conversations. Really, it's just the same conversation over and over again. How do we do close to as good as we can with less? We have to maintain our fees, unfortunately, but we're also not going to have to add any new fees. Our facilities, it's not that they've been fully neglected, but we have not been doing the things that they need to have done. So we will be able to maintain at a minimum, but hopefully improve our facilities. And again, you've heard me talk about this, catastrophic cuts. This year wouldn't have been catastrophic. It would have been bad. But next year is catastrophic. So while everyone's asking a lot of questions, this is the answer. You can ask anything you want. This is the answer. It's catastrophic cuts. Period. The end. That's where you are. Anything you want to ask me, my answer is catastrophic cuts. Period. No stability. Catastrophic cuts. Those are just some of the things. I gave you some of the ones that I know hit hard. Another reason to say yes tonight. We are dropping $5 million in tax from the community. That will see a universal tax decrease to every single family. Period. No matter how much your house is worth, if you're paying taxes, you're going to see a decrease in the 25-26 school year. And ultimately, if that wasn't enough of a reason yet, because for the average assessed home in South Brunswick, since 2018, let's go all the way to 2026, the total increase for anyone with an average home is going to be under $100 total, cumulative. Your new tax will be $86 more than it was in 2018, in 2026. For that, we get to maintain our school district. What do the funds mean for the coming year? We get to bring back our staff. All the staff that help us keep our program cuts from happening and our class size and managing. just some of the areas, our elementary G&T program, all those things. I'm not going to read them. But these are the things that we've been working towards right now, bringing them back in anticipation of being able to bring them back officially come tomorrow. And, this is it. I'll give you an example of one. We cut the entire police department out of our budget in our original presentation, the entire amount. So that would have meant, no, that security is gone. So that's back in. That's what we'll put back in. And also, Jim Conroy's asked to add one more to manage that. And also, we heard from the chief that they might have other possible ways to help us. This is just some of the staffing impact. I put this up here because, this is what you can think about now. You can think about it. I can't guarantee we'll do cricket, but we can think about it. People from cricket came to me 3 or 4 years ago. I'm like, hey, great idea, love it. Who's paying for it? Now we can talk about it. We can look to expand programs, enhance our things that we want to do for kids. Look at our security. Right now, Jim Conroy's telling me we're about $80,000 in cameras short from where we should be at a basic level. He didn't even come to me in the last year. He wasn't even going to bother. Like, why waste his breath saying, hey, Scott, we need $80,000 in cameras? I'd be like, that's nice. Enjoy. You're not getting it. A big deal that we need to look at our elementary level is, do we reconfigure our grade levels? Do we spend the time to study it? And it's not always cheap to study. It costs money to even do a study. We can do that now, and we have to be able to look and see what's best for our kids, what's best for our community. That's the kind of thing we do. There's been an ELL audit looking at how we best support our students with second language. And, well, that would have been a great audit, but if we have no money, we're not going to implement anything. We're just going to know what we need to do better, but not do it. That's what happens in systems when there's no money. You talk about things that you never can do. And the facilities, I can keep talking about that. So what is the recommendation? I'll be clear. It's 8.93%. It's not higher for one reason only. The state's not letting me go higher. Let me make that clear. If they said I can go to 30% and the tax was going to be a low impact, I would give you a number that would keep the taxes low, but would allow us to keep this district going. Right now, it's an 8.93%. That is inclusive of the original thing you already adopted, which was a 2.78%. So it's not 8.93 plus 2.78. It's cumulatively 8.93. Where that comes from is the 2.78, which is $3.3 million. That's already been approved. The sum of the aid loss, that's the bill. Lost from 2021 to present, not before 2021. Otherwise, it'd be a higher number. That number represented $7.4 million. Add the $7.4 million plus the $3.3 million. That wounds up being 8.93% or $10.8 million. It's a lot of money. The amazing part about that money is there's a low tax impact on this community. So, increase revenues by 8.93%. That does not increase the taxes by 8.93%. I don't know, Kathy, you here? I'm here. So it's not raising your taxes by 8.93%. That would be very extensive and problematic. Also, I want to point out to everybody, we have not been raising the taxes. It has not been a cumulative process every year, 100, 200, 300. That is not happening. So when you ask why would you recommend this? Because it's not the massive impact that it sounds like it could be. And Kathy, I'm going to use you again. Kathy came to the meeting and saying, Scott, that's too much. And you still might think that. I'm not saying you don't. But she thought it was 8.9% of her tax bill. That would be a lot. It's not. And to show that, let me show you this. When you increase the revenue, it does not equate to a direct increase in taxes. It does not. Let me show you why and how we can prove that. In 1819, we raised the revenues by 2%. It was a $9 increase. That's not 2% of anyone's taxes. The next year, we did 2% again. We raised the revenues 2%. That only had a $33 impact for the average home. The next year, we increased the revenues by 2%, and the average family lost $48 in tax payment. It's not a correlation. It's not a correlation. The next year, we raised the revenues by 2%, and it was a $90 decrease in taxes. There's no correlation, is my point. So when we look at this and look at the $5 million we're dropping, the 8.93% on a $200,000 assessed home is $239. If your home is assessed at less than $200,000, it'll be less. If it's assessed at more, it'll be a little bit more, depending on your assessed value. That's how this works. It is not, raising the revenue does not equate to equal raising of the taxes. It just doesn't. The reason David's going to talk about, because it's convoluted for me, but that's the reality. So for that, we're able to do and continue to make this district what it needs to be for kids in this community and these families. Talked about that already. So another example, just look and see what it is. It doesn't matter, the $5,000 under 2018 is irrelevant. That's a sample. The big thing is your assessed value. If your assessed value is $200,000, your total new dollars after 8 years going all the way to 2026 is $86. So if you ask me, why does the superintendent of schools say this is a no-brainer? It doesn't get easier than this. It just doesn't. $86 over 8 years? $86 over 8 years for the average home. So even if you say, well, what about the home that's worth $400,000? Yeah, you're right. That person has to pay, let me do the quick math, $172 over 8 years. I'm sorry that people that are going to pay that money, I don't like raising taxes, but schools are funded by one source of money, one source, only one source. It's called taxes. That's the country we live in, taxes. I don't like paying them. I can't imagine anyone in this room likes paying them. But you know what I like a lot less than paying taxes? Having a property value go down to nothing. It's a lot worse. So you become the district that doesn't have a music program, doesn't have athletics program, doesn't have clubs, doesn't have AP classes, and kids stop getting into those colleges they currently get into. It's easy to get there. Easy to get there. Because think of it simply. If the only way to fund schools is taxes, less taxes gets you one thing, less stuff. That's all it does. There is nothing else. There's no mystery magical potion that solves this question. There just isn't. So what is the value to the district community? I just repeated the slide. In this state, maybe every state, but I can speak to this state, your property values align directly to the quality of your school district. That is a fact. Ask any realtor on the planet. And all these things that go with it. Dave, help us out with the math.
So I just wanted to talk real quick about the formula, because a lot of people think, well, what's it going to look like next year? What's going to happen next year? We pull in a $10 million tax levy. I can tell you the graph that you're looking at, the slide here, shows the equalized valuation in blue, and it shows the district income in the red. These are the two numbers in the formula that the state uses to determine your local fair share. And in essence, right now, our local fair share is so far away, we would never be able to attain it, even with a $10 million increase in the tax levy. So what we're looking at here is, you can look at the years. In 2013, our equalized valuation of South Brunswick was under $8 billion. And in 2024, it's just under $12 billion. The town growth, exponentialized and just, it blew up the local fair share to the point to where your town should be, the state's saying your town should be paying a lot more in taxes to fund the school district. When you say to me next year, what's this going to look like next year? If our equalized valuation goes up another $1 billion, we're going to be that much further away in our local fair share. We're going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to go for 2%, because we're capped at 2% again. Do we know that for sure? We don't, because we don't even really know what the formula is going to look like next year. So they're changing the formula. We don't know if they are or not. We don't know what our equalized valuation is going to look like. And district income is an interesting one as well, because in your district income, you could have somebody hit the lottery for $200 million in South Brunswick, that district income number is going to spike, and that would be another formula in the equation, or excuse me, a variable in the equation that could absolutely blow up your ratables. So in the sense of this, basically in the short, there are towns in Middlesex County that have budgeted, they receive $6 million a year for the past 3 or 4 years. They're budgeting $6 million, and then out of the blue, they're getting cut $1.4 million. Why? Because the value of the town goes up, the district income spikes, and it turns into a decrease in their state aid and not an increase. So that's just a little bit about the formula. In essence, when people ask me, what's it going to look like for next year, I can tell you, we really just don't know yet, because the variables that they use to create this kind of the formula, the variables in the equalized value and the district income rate, they change every year. So not only are they just using, it would be simple if it was just a very simple formula, X plus B equals C, but it's not. There's so many variables that are mixed in with this formula that they actually change the variables that have a greater impact or less of an impact on the local fair share or even on our local tax impact. So the predictability is difficult, and it's, you know, throwing darts at a dartboard with a blindfold on. You're really not sure what you're going to get just yet. I can tell you the district, I want to talk a little bit about the district financial health. What we did this year was, there were 2 pieces to the budget that needed some serious assistance. Yes, we wanted to take some funding and bring back staff and make sure we could prop up the programs that make South Brunswick great. But at the same time, we were doing some things to pass a budget that were almost, it caused me to lose a lot of sleep at night, and I'll tell you a little bit why. So we were relying on miscellaneous revenues, and our miscellaneous revenues are all the revenues that we generate throughout the year, Facilitron rentals. We also have our summer institutes in there, Discovery, the before and after care programs. All those programs create revenue, and they come in, and we use that revenue to say to the budget, hey, we're betting on this revenue. We're going to have this money to prop up our budget throughout the school year. What happens is this year we budgeted $1.3 million in miscellaneous revenues. Well, some of those revenues were based on increasing fees on families because we were going about generating revenue and trying to figure out ways to keep our budget moving forward. Because we're receiving, or tonight we're going to vote on this budget and receiving this $10 million, we took those fees away, and what happened was we had to decrease our miscellaneous revenues. So now we're taking some of this funding and we're saying, okay, we're going to buy down the revenue side of our budget so that we know we're not bringing that much more money or that much more revenue into the district. A little bit about fund balance. Again, this year, very stressful end of year in the business office. We ran a budget this year with a fund balance of $8.9 million. That means that at the end of the year, we have to have $8.9 million just to cover what I would call like a bank loan. Fund balance is an interesting concept in the sense that we have funds. It's kind of like when I use the analogy, my daughter's in college. She's going to University of Vermont. I don't have the $50,000 in the beginning of the year, and I don't have the money to put up front. So we take a loan out from a bank and we pay the money off as my wife gets paid throughout the year. That pays off the loan. At the end of the year, we're even Steven. It's kind of the same thing with fund balance. You take out this loan for $8.9 million to fund our budget throughout the entire school year, and at the end of the year, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to have my $8.9 million to pay back our fund balance, kind of like pay the bank back, which is our big account. This year, at the end of this year, right now, we're talking 2 weeks left in June. Our operating account has about $1 million in it. So we're about $7.9 million short. And that's going to have a dramatic impact on our budget for next year. So what we did this year with part of this $10 million was automatically buy down our fund balance about $2 million, exactly $2 million, to about $6.9 million, so that at the end of next year, when we're propping up our budget and putting money back into our budget, we're creating an account, we're creating a budget that we know at the end of the year is going to be sustainable. Because right now our budget, this budget, if this year happened and this bill did not pass, we would be catastrophic for next year. We would be in a situation like some of the districts who have been in S2 for a long time, and we would be calling in state monitors. We would be calling in people to actually try to have them solve our issues because we wouldn't be able to solve it. So it's a very important piece to understand with this budget and where we are right now. This was DEFCON 4. Like, this was the most horrible situation we could find ourselves in, where we pretty much were at the end of our rope. So that's kind of where we are with fund balance. I hope that kind of makes sense to people. The cafeteria account, again, we were relying on generating revenue through other sources and pulling money from other funds into our operating budget. Again, that account was depleted almost to a point to where we had some comptrollers in the state come back and say, hey, not for nothing, you guys are using your cafeteria account for some of the things that might not be able to use it for. And my response to them was, we need revenue. You can't tell us we can't do it. It might not be exactly the way you like to see it, but it's the way we have to get it done because we're funding classrooms, we're funding teachers, we're funding educational programs. So that was another area where we're taking some of the funding from this 10 million and we're buying down those revenues or those expected revenues so that it's more stable in the budget and not something that we're relying on generating that might be a pipe dream. The other piece I wanted to talk about real quick was the benefits. A lot of times when people think about benefits in a school district, they automatically go to health benefits. Like, what are the health benefits? So health benefits are going to be more expensive. Health benefits always go up. We managed our health benefits costs pretty effectively here in South Brunswick. But there's other benefits that are included in the health benefit lines, and that's unemployment, our pension, employee retirement system, Social Security, and some stipend stuff in there as well. But I wanted to make sure that people understood, especially the board, you guys have to understand is that when we do have layoffs, unemployment goes up. When we increase people's salaries, their pension costs go up. When we increase people's salaries, Social Security expenses go up. And every year what we found is that at the end of the year, we were betting on having that fund balance available at the end of the year. And what we were finding, especially this year and then last year as well, was that the budget was getting so tight that we got ourselves into a situation where we were having a difficult time covering some of these benefit expenses. So what you're going to see in this budget that we're talking about tonight, or that we're looking to pass tonight, you're going to see some increased revenues in those benefit lines so that at the end of the year, we're not looking to rob Peter to pay Paul to make sure we can make our benefit payments, but also at the end of the year, make sure that we have enough money to cover our fund balance. That's going to be about $6.9 million at the end of the year. When Scott and I first got on board here in South Brunswick, our end of year in June, we were around $11 million in our operating account. This year it's $1 million. So you guys can understand that it's time. Like, this was the year, and Scott and I were pretty clear about it. Every year we said, in year 5, it's going to be a mess, and we made it all the way up to year 5. Thank God for this opportunity. I hope we take advantage of it. But just to give you some insight on where the district financial health would benefit from and will benefit from moving forward with this type of tax increase. So, yep, that's my piece. Thank you, people. Excuse me, last slide. So really, the 24-25 budget allocations, this is what we're voting on tonight. You'll see it in a motion in your consent agenda. We have a general current expense. This is our operating account of $158 million. We have special programs fund, $10 million in IDEA. It's inclusive of preschool. If you look at previous year's budgets, that number was always around $4 million, but the special programs of preschool this year is $6 million increase. So that's a special program. You'll see a major increase there. And then our debt service fund this year is $6.8 million. Next year, you'll see that that's going to be about $1.2 million. So that's going to be the massive decrease that you'll see next year in the budget for a total budget this year of $175 million. So that's the consent agenda motion you'll see, the motion you'll see in your consent agenda. And like I said, if not, we're going to go back to the drawing board, and it's going to be a really difficult situation for South Brunswick. And not to be a doggy downer, but I'll end on that. Thanks, everybody.
I'd like to open it up now for any questions from the board members first, for Mr. Fetter or Mr. Pawlowski. Thank you both gentlemen for that presentation. Any questions? Ms. Ferreira.
Yeah, I wondered, Dave, if you could tell me the savings that we've incurred with all the retired positions that
Yes,
just
we
took
have-
place this year?
Yeah, we have breakage every year, and we work that breakage into our salary lines.
Can you give
each
me a
year.
rough estimate?
You're always running around 600,000.
Okay. Did you
And
figure that
that's a
into
lot.
the budget?
That's been figured into the budget.
Okay, and the 10 million, you mentioned the preschool program, but aren't we being funded by the state for the
Yeah,
preschool?
that's a special those are special programs, grant-funded programs, IDEA.
So why is preschool in that line item when we aren't really paying for it, we're being funded?
Correct. The state did, for some ungodly reason, we're not sure why, but the state placed all of the preschool funding in a grant fund to be sure that the funds are being spent on preschool-age programs and preschool-age teachers, administrators, nurses, secretaries. So that funding comes specifically into Fund 20, which is a special grant.
Okay, another question. Some districts around the area use security companies rather than relying on our police. Is there any indication that we would consider that for savings?
No.
No.
Why not?
Right now,
I got David.
okay.
The answer is no. You asked if we would consider it. If the board would like us to consider that, the board can vote to consider that. At this time, it is a no. We're not considering it.
Okay. All right, so what was the budget for 23-24?
About 170 million.
170. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Ferrer. Any questions here? Ms. Karthik, go ahead.
Mr. Pawlowski, thank you for your detailed presentation. I'm going to refer to the budget that was advertised. So there's some 4 line items that I just want some clarification on. You and I have spoken about it, but I'd just like you to restate that. The first budget category was on the expense side, which was the school-sponsored co-curricular or extracurricular activities. I saw a jump in that from 23-24 to 24-25 by 30%.
Okay, so let's talk about these one at a time so I
Yeah.
can just touch base. So that's a co-curricular activities account that includes all of our stipends for co-curriculars for clubs. It also includes VTN and our guys that come here every night and do, for our board meetings, our video casting. So we wanted to fully fund that account, and that's why you'll see a jump in that this year.
Thank you. The next one was the undistributed expenditures, administrative information technology. I saw a 12% jump there from 23-24 to 24-25.
That's inclusive of.
Deepa, what is the amount in that line?
The amount for 23-24 was $1,160,000, and for 24-25 it's $1,312,000.
The only difference in that line, that's about a $200,000 increase or 250.
151, yeah.
That was for a purchase of some Chromebooks for students to replenish our Chromebook inventory.
Okay, thank you. The third one was the non-public security aid, and the reason I picked these are because it may not be explicit in the line items when the descriptions are provided. So, to the non-public security aid, that jumped to 100%. We did not account for that in 23-24, but we are putting money aside this year for about, I think, 146.
So that's a grant, that's grant funded for our private schools in Middlesex County, or excuse me, in South Brunswick. So we have Norleyman School and St. A's, and because that's a Fund 20, those funds come through the state and are provided for those programs, and those school districts actually create their own budgets. So those school districts would have decided that, or those private schools would have decided that they wanted to use some funds for technology, or excuse me, for security.
Yeah.
So we're funding, I remember writing purchase orders this year for their security that they hired Class 3 officers from the police department.
Dave, is that money taxpayer money?
No, it's not tax.
Okay.
It's not in
That's
our.
That's not South Brunswick School District's budget.
Yeah, that's
just the way we have to budget by law.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
that doesn't.
That's not our money.
Okay, although it was a line item.
If they chose to raise the money there, that's their money, not ours.
Okay. And the last one was a line item that just stated total state projects, which
state
was
projects.
4 million in 23-24 and
That's-
6 million. That is the
Yeah,
preschool.
That's your preschool.
Okay.
Yep, we went from 4 million last year to 6 million this year.
All right. Thanks. Thanks
Okay,
for the clarification.
you got it.
Yes.
Good, thank you. Mr. Krishna? No comments? No questions? No questions, Mr. Nathanson?
No, I just have a
questions?
comment.
Yeah, we'll cover that in a minute. To my left, any questions? Dr. Raj?
So, Mr. Feder, you referred to reconfiguration study at the elementary level. Could you please explain what it is? I did not. That's the first time I'm hearing about it.
Well, I mentioned it once or twice before, but the concept is, right now our district is configured with K-5 schools, pre-K through 5. The conversation would be, is that the most efficient and the best for kids to continue that way? Or do you look at something different? So the district at one point was a K-6 elementary schools, and they went to K-4 with 5-6 school. So the question, you don't just do it, you study it. But to study it, sometimes you have to bring in somebody to pay to help study it. You take offline, you have to pay staff. So it's a cost to look at something. So that was just the point.
Okay. And I had another question on fund balance. What would be a comfortable fund balance?
4 million.
Oh, wow, we are so far away.
Yeah, we're doing, ever since my first few years here, we've always hovered around 4.5 million. But since we kicked into S2, we've been using more and more of it, and still being able to make the payment, being able to cover the fund balance at the end of the year. It's just this year and last year last year we were right at the number. This year we're short.
Oh, okay. I also had a few questions on the advertised budget, the expenditure side of it. I only zeroed in on expenses that were significantly different.
I'll help you as best I can.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. There is one line item on undistributed expenditure on health services. Does that include provision for health insurance payouts?
Right. That the health insurance increase in the lines is what you would see, and what I was talking about in the presentation was that those same lines include unemployment, Social Security, and pension increases.
Okay.
So that's why you'll see a larger increase in those lines.
Same thing. Okay.
Yep. They all roll up in the advertised budget. What everybody has to understand is the advertised budget is a roll-up of about 20 to 30 accounts that are specific in our budget that rolls up so they can fit it in the paper. So when you guys see a benefit line that goes up 10% or 15%, there's 20 different accounts that could have had 3% or 5% increases
They
that
just
would
add
roll
up.
up.
Cumulative.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, they accumulate.
And something that caught my eyes are also support services for general administration and school administration, which apparently went down.
So, I'd have to look at that account specifically.
Yeah.
Support services for general and
School administration.
well, you would see a decrease in school administration this year because we were eliminating some positions.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. There is also an increase in the line items for staff training services and improvement to instruction services.
Those would be curricular and instructional
related,
expansion from Mr. Fetter's work with
Can I ask,
Dr. Mammon.
I just have it in front of me, I'm sorry. What are the numbers? What are the dollar amounts?
For the instructional services, it is going up from, sorry, just a second. It is 844,000 to 991,000.
So can I just,
Oh, okay. I think
I just want to try and help and point out something. We have 8,000 kids in this district, 8,000 kids.
Yeah, no, I think I
And-
marked it. Why did I? Yeah, I marked it wrong. Oh, it must have been the child study teams. Child study teams, yeah, that is a significant difference.
Child study teams? We went down, but
No, child study teams, it's 3.1 million to 3.4 million.
it's not child study teams.
Yeah, but see, it's a roll-up again.
Again, roll-ups,
It's a
okay.
big roll-up, so in those lines, you're going to see professional services for Beata nurses, you'll see special services for therapies. So all of that encompasses a child study team roll-up. So you got a lot of different accounts in there that are going to be increased.
Okay. And also the reason why I mentioned reduction in general administration and school administration is that typically the first reaction when it comes to budget is that cut the administration, they are not necessary. So I just want to point out that there has been an increase in instructional expenditure and expenditure on child study teams, and things like that, and there's a reduction in administrative costs. So I would like to point that out.
Thank you.
And yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Rush. Mr. Mitchell, any questions? Right. Mr. Hernandez, any questions? I have no questions. Does anybody have any comments before we move on? Mr. Nathanson?
Yes, thank you. As a 23-year member of the South Brunswick Board of Education, I fully understand the importance of addressing the fiscal health of our district. Over the past 5 years, we've experienced significant budget cuts that have depleted and gutted important accounts. It is crucial that we allocate the necessary funds back into these accounts to ensure the financial stability of our district. By supporting this budget, we can begin the process of rebuilding our fiscal reserves and restoring the financial health of our district. This will allow us to meet the needs of our students and provide them with the quality education they deserve. Additionally, a financially stable district will enable us to attract and retain our highly qualified teachers and staff, improve our facility, and invest in essential resources and programs. I believe that by supporting this budget, we can lay the foundation for a stronger and more stable future for our district. It is our responsibility to prioritize the fiscal health of our district and ensure that our students have the resources and the opportunities they need to succeed. I would like to express my gratitude to the parent advocacy and budget committees, Mr. Fetter, our senior staff, our BA, Mr. Pulowski, and his staff, and our board president, Lisa Rogers, for their invaluable support and dedication. Their effort has been instrumental in addressing the financial challenges our district has faced and advocating for the necessary resources to restore our fiscal health. It is through the collective efforts of these individuals and our parent groups that we can work together towards a brighter future for South Brunswick. Their support and commitment are greatly appreciated, and I am confident that together with my colleagues on the Board of Education, we can overcome the fiscal challenges we might face and continue to provide the best possible education for our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nathanson. Any other comments? Ms. Ferreira?
Around May 11th, members of the board received a chart from the district showing an increase of 7% in the tax cap would make the district whole. The budget being voted on here tonight increases the cap to 8.9. In light of the current economic downturn and the burden of the taxpayers, I do not believe that an additional 1.9% was justified. Therefore, I will be voting no.
Thank you, Ms. Ferreira. Any other comments to my left? Dr. Raj?
I would like to express my disappointment again with the whole how the process panned out. The state was supposed to provide us a permanent solution, address the root cause, but they ended up pushing us a Hobson's choice where we don't really, it's a Hobson's choice. We don't have a choice but to go ahead and make a decision for ourselves. And it's an unpopular decision. We still have to do it. It's disillusioning, it's disappointing, and all this at a time when the state keeps on adding to the costs of the school district. But we have to make a decision, and we'll go ahead with that. In one of the earlier meetings, there was an informal discussion here as to what is the comfortable level that, comfortable tax rate, that levy cap that we are comfortable with. So earlier I had mentioned that I was comfortable with 8, but today the discussion is around 8.9. The reason why the other day I went with 8% was that the newer homes and homes that are relatively assessed at a higher value, they will be facing a disproportionate burden of any tax increase. So that was my justification for going for only 8%, but now I see that the difference between 8 and 8.9% translates to around $30, and next year the debt service is going to drop, so it will translate to an actual drop in the delta, in the change. I am compelled to vote for 8.9%, even though I had expressed my comfort at 8% at an earlier time point. I also think that I'm also the other compelling reason why I'm going ahead with voting for an 8.9% is that all the wonderful programs that we have had, despite being in a cut mode. So there has not been a net infusion of resources in the past several years, if we look at it that way. So if we can secure some resources this year, given the opportunity that we have because of the legislation, which is restricted to just this year, I'm compelled to think that it's the right choice to go ahead and shore up some resources, some net new additional resources for the district. So I will be voting for 8.9%, and I felt compelled to justify my action because I had earlier expressed my reservation going beyond 8%. And I also take this opportunity to thank my colleagues here on the board. We have had a robust discussion. We have, I see so many emails, so many questions to and fro.
I'm sorry, I have to stop.
Okay.
You guys are a Board of Education. This is a public meeting. You're telling everyone how you vote. You haven't heard from the public yet. The public hasn't had a chance to say a word. This is an opportunity to ask your questions and let the public come vote. Let's talk to you. Maybe the whole public's going to come out of the woodwork and tell you yes, no, or indifferent. I don't know what they're going to say. But give them a chance to talk before you decide on your vote.
Okay.
No, we haven't.
When?
Not tonight.
Today's a public hearing. When did you
Not
hear from the
tonight.
public?
We've heard from our constituents, Mr. Feder.
And they have an opportunity tonight. On the agenda, it states public comment specifically for the budget. Any other comments?
Let me finish my thought. There were many questions asked and there were many answers. The administration ended up answering all our questions. So it has been a very robust discussion. So I'm very grateful to my colleagues here for the robust discussion. And I also acknowledge that the administration has taken time to answer all of our questions.
Good. Thank you. All right. Mr. Mitchell, any comments?
No, this time.
Thank you. Ms. Hernandez, any comments? No. Thank you. Okay, moving on. We will have a public comments specifically for the budget. I'm going to read the public comments section.
You don't have to for this.
Okay. Oh, I don't? Okay. I apologize. I didn't know I didn't have to do that. Huh? Oh, okay.
Public comment section.
Yeah, I think it's best.
I can wait and then I can make my
Yeah,
comment.
that would be best.
I'm good with that. Okay?
Okay, thank you. If there's anyone in the audience that would make any comments regarding, or excuse me, let me restate that. If anybody has any questions regarding the budget, I ask that you approach the podium now. Yes, come on down. You're going to have to come down because we're not going to be able to hear you in the microphone. I apologize. You also have to be on camera. That's okay. You have every right to it. No, I'm going to read that after.
I'm going to sign in first, right?
You don't have to. That's okay.
All right. So I'm Kathy Havadansky. I live on Taylor Road in South Brunswick. Wow, can I say a lot of information today, all right? So let me just say that I was here the last time and I was looking at the numbers, and I appreciate, Scott, you answering the emails my husband and I sent, and also talking with you outside after the last meeting. I think the problem is this, in my opinion. I don't have time to look at the complete budget, what it's actually made of, the dollar values, what goes into it, because when it actually got dropped, there's not enough time for anybody here as a resident to really dive in. So we're looking at line numbers, and I actually enjoyed what you asked. But let me just, I'm going to just state it simple. Okay, so when my husband and I was first looking at this, we always like to compare one year to the next. So we're looking at 2023. The numbers that we had at the last meeting was the 2023, what was shown on it was the estimate. And that said that the budget was $166 million. And that's the numbers that we're using to compare to the 2024, all right? And the 2024 estimate was 170. Well, when we waited to see the new numbers that you were saying, now the 2023 numbers are actual numbers. They're not, the proposed estimate. And now the actual numbers are 170 million, which it kind of makes me say, wow, that's the same numbers that you said was going to be the proposed for 2024. Now those numbers are the actual numbers. Okay. So now, today, we went on and to try to find the budget, and the budget was $174,841,558. But no, it's not. Now it's $175,389,866. So I'm just trying to say that as a South Brunswick resident trying to, understand what's going on, the numbers just keep changing. And I'm just dealing with the numbers, and I can't get into the details, but the number keeps changing. And that change, just like tonight from the numbers I have, is $548,000. Now, I was going to come up here and say, all right, there's not time for a resident to actually dive into the entire budget. I know what you're talking about with fund accounting. It's dealing with reserves and stuff like that. But a budget is a budget, all right? So I'm still going back to 2023 estimated budget of $166 million, and you said the budget was going to be $170 million. To me, in my mind, is that you missed the 2023 budget. The 2023 budget that you gave was 166, but it actually cost 170,671,000. So you missed it. So now here in 2024, all right, you're like, okay, well, you're making up $4 million there, and now in 2024, you're trying to, now the budget is 174 because now think about this. I'm sure all of you out there are saying, what the hell is this girl talking about? Excuse me, whatever. Now, if I'm trying to figure this out, doing these numbers, looking at your website, how in the world is anybody out there, South Brunswick residents, going to be able to figure this out? But I'm just going to say this to you, trying to look at this. I am an accountant, by the way, so is my husband. And I'm looking at this, and I was going to come up here and say, it's, okay, the increase between one year and the next is about 2.7% increased, all right? Inflationary-wise, okay, I'll take it. But I want to say that chart that you have up there that keeps saying $86, no. You know, that's going to be the property increase. And I still can't get to this number, Mr. Federer, but I'm gonna take it. You're saying the 200K property tax assessment, the tax increase is going to be $239. That $86, you're spreading it over several years. The tax increase you're saying is $239. All right, is that correct? 239? 239 for a tax assessment of 200K. That's what you're saying. Well, I want to tell you, I still can't get to that number. But since you are saying it right now, 239, I'm going to hold you accountable to it. Because if it turns out that it's not 239, guess what? I'm going to be back here and say, hey, you said it was 239. Because my numbers and trying to do this, it's higher than that.
Please address
it. It is. It's higher than that. But
so it's 150.
I guess we're just going to have to see. Because these numbers... Even, and I'm just going to say one more thing, and I know I might be sounding confusing here, but even it's the information that's being posted on the website. It's just really straight. You know what I would have liked to seen tonight? I would have liked to have seen, without all these charts, I would have loved to have seen just a chart saying, okay, if your tax assessment on your property is $200,000, that's the tax. If your tax assessment is $201,000 to this, it's this amount and this amount. Just tell the people exactly how much the taxes are going up. Not these long things where it's like over 6 years where you're spreading out the amount. This is what you paid in 2018. This is how much it's going to be now. Just be straightforward with us and say, this is what the tax is going to be. This is the reason why we're doing this based on the information that you said. I think everybody would be happy with that. But all these charts and move it around, even myself with all these numbers I just presented to you, it gets very confusing. Just straightforward. Your taxes are going to go up $239. We need to do this.
I don't know.
That's it. I think in my simple mind, the budget was blown. I don't know who's doing. The budget was blown in 2023 by $4 million, and now you're making it up. And now this time, in order to keep going forward, you're adding another $5 million to this budget. And that's all I wanted to say.
Can you address the revenue, $166 million? It's right here.
And somebody's thing is up here.
The numbers are wrong. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Numbers are wrong. Anybody else want to make a comment? Ms. Carr. It's okay.
Hi, Lisa Garwood, South Brunswick, parent, retired teacher, and constituent. You've faced devastating budget cuts for years. What a year you've had. What a bunch of years you've had. You've used incredible skills, insight, creativity, and mind-bending math skills to be sure that those cuts didn't affect our students or our excellent educational standards. You've been proactive to the extreme in advocating for South Brunswick at the state level. You've been patient to the extreme in explaining everything budget-related again and again and again. You've been professional and patient to the extreme in the face of, not tonight, but insults, rude behavior, and blatant lies. And after discussion, explanation, and really important questions, here we are. Please, keep South Brunswick the excellent district we are. You've run the numbers and are experts at doing so. If you support our children and want them to continue to receive the enriched education they so deserve, you will vote to increase the revenue by the full 8.93%. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public at this time? Yes. Uh-oh, that's my daughter. What the hell is she going to say?
Hello, Jessica Rogers. I'm a current resident of South Brunswick. I would just like to say, in regard to, as a person being a recent graduate of South Brunswick and currently a recent graduate from a New Jersey university, seeing what South Brunswick has provided for me and many of my fellow alumni has really been eye-opening to me. Seeing the amount of difference that we've created in our own communities and globally. The amount of education that we've received and the quality of that education is extremely important to creating well-rounded citizens, both here in the US and internationally. Personally, on my own opinion, being able to provide that education level with that increase of 8.9% is extremely important. With students on the line of being able to receive varying different experiences in clubs, interactive activities, the education, the varying different courses and electives that you've provided is of utmost importance. And I believe that being able to provide an extra $30 increase to homes to provide extra students with that experience is extremely important and should be heavily considered. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any other comments? No other comments? Then I will close this portion of the agenda. We'll make, you can make comments. I'll just instruct the board. Further comments can be made when we do the motion and second and open discussion for the consent agenda at that time. Okay, moving on. Next order of business is board, committee, and liaison reports. Does any board committee chair have any update? I know that it's been a quiet month.
Yeah, no.
Nope. Any liaison updates? Mr. Nathanson, yep.
Just so you know, we had a live, this time we went to Trenton for quarterly New Jersey School Board Association Legislative Committee. And one thing we had Assemblyman Katz there. And Assemblyman Katz is a co-sponsor with our own Assemblywoman Drulis, and they both have a bill that's been sitting there since March. And the purpose of the bill was to establish a committee to look at S2. It hasn't moved out of the legislative committee for education since March. Mm-hmm. And right now, she told us that she was told it's not moving because of the budget. Well, the budget's been finished for weeks, and it still hasn't moved.
Yeah.
So I just want to give you that update because we're voting on the budget tonight, and that is something that has to be done for us to even be stable next year if we didn't pass this budget, and there's no way that they're telling us that they're going to get that done before next year. We hope, but we're going to be back, I think we're going to be back to emergency situation if we don't take this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, any other liaison reports? None? Oh, Mr. Mitchell?
To report on the robotics banquet that I attended last Friday. wanted to congratulate those group of young people for the job that they put on for the program. They were had everything lined up. All their ducks were lined up, and this showed true professionalism and know-how and pulling this off. I was very impressed. Thanks especially to Roger, Dr. Raja, Raj for who's the supervisor, for making sure that it came off well. Also last night was the preschool moving up ceremony, so thanks to to Mrs. Plummer for the wonderful program that was put together and her staff. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Any other liaison reports?
Mr. Michel already covered the robotics banquet that we all attended, so I'm not going to spend more time on that, but it was a wonderful event. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Then I will close that portion of the agenda. Next is the public comments on agenda items only. I will make the public comments statement now. The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on school matters of community interest. Complete copies of Policy 0167, which govern this portion of the meeting, are available to the public at the auditorium entrance, online, or by contacting the board office. To permit the fair and orderly expression of comments, we ask that participants be recognized by the presiding officer and preface comments by announcing his or her name, place of residence, and group affiliation, if appropriate, and by completing the sign-in sheet. Please print legibly, or we may be unable to document your name for the permanent record. Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 3 minutes. No participant may speak more than once on the same topic. Mr. Pawlowski will indicate when you have 15 seconds remaining. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No participant may address or question board members, and no discussion between a participant and respondent shall extend the 3-minute time limit. Is there anyone? Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm not finished. It is our plan to listen to each member of the public. Once all questions and comments from all members of the public are made, the Board of Ed may respond or respond via email in the most timely and efficient manner available. All questions and comments made will be noted. Again, the first public comment is for consent agenda items only. There will be an opportunity for the public to comment on any matter. Mr. Pawlowski, has anyone pre-registered?
We have no pre-registrations.
No pre-registrations. Are there any audience members who wish to make a public comment on the consent agenda only? Seeing no comments, we will close that portion of the public comments. We do not have any old business, but new business as addressed earlier. The board retreat will be added to the July 25 agenda. Is there going to be any need for any discussion on this? Any discussion? No? Very good. So, Mr. Pawlowski, we will be adding on the July 25th agenda the retreat. I ask that the board members come to address the goals that we completed from 23 to 24, and if there's any new goals that we would like to add for 24-25, that will be the time that we do that, as well as possibly other areas. But that's the key discussion of the July meeting, plus Mr. Fetters, any additions he has, of course.
Will we look at liaison positions? The different liaison.
I don't know yet. I'll have to look. We'll address the liaison. That is probably where we could address it, the liaison,
different liaison.
as well. Yep, we could definitely look at that. Okay. Next order of business is the consent agenda review and walkthrough. Mr. Pawlowski, may I have Mr. Pawlowski, consent agenda walkthrough.
We'll do the walkthrough.
Yep.
So this agenda is packed full of vendor approvals. What we have is, I briefed everybody via our update. I won't go through all of our vendor approvals word by word or vendor by vendor. So we have all of our approval of transfers, financials, bills list, all of the business of the board. We're approving a tax levy payment schedule, and we're approving designation of official depositories. We have some tax shelter programs. The majority of the rest of this is professional services. So if anybody has any questions on any of these professional services, please reach out to me. Let me via email, and I'll shoot you an update with regards to specific vendors. But these are all of the vendors in our district that do all business, be it health insurance, property casualty, advisors, E-rate consultants. They're all in here. We have, we're reapproving our financial management databases, Systems 3000. We're approving storage systems with FileBank, all vendors. We're noting, what we also do in this agenda is we note all of our signatories, 504 officers, safety specialists, right to know officials through the entire district, so we have a lot of titles in here as well. You'll have, you're adopting your policy manual, you're adopting your purchasing manuals, doing all of the basic adoptions for the operation of the school district throughout the rest of the, for the coming school year. You have in motion 1.55, you're approving our revised school district budget that we reviewed earlier today in our meeting. Specific with this budget is the health benefit, increased cost of health benefit amount, our 45% state aid cut return, a second question that includes $350,000 for funding of public use of facilities, and it increases our one-time tax levy not to exceed 9%. Ours is at 8.93. School calendar, and then we have our harassment, intimidation, bullying reports, student field trip reports, and professional development. That's your agenda.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Borowski. We're going to make a motion in a second, and after the second, we will open up comments to the board members before we vote. So may I have a motion for consent agenda tonight? Dr. Raj, second. Mr. Nathanson, I will now open up the opportunity for any comments to be made. Mr. Nathanson, you've made yours. Thank you very much. Ms. Ferrera, you've made yours. Thank you very much. Dr. Raj, you've made yours. Thank you very much.
Just a correction. I
Okay.
got carried away. I meant to explain my vote during this discussion. I got carried away.
That's okay.
So I apologize.
Not a problem. Mr. Mitchell, any comments?
No.
Very good. To my right, any comments before we open the vote? I'm sorry. Mrs. Karthik. Sorry.
I know, it's late.
It's late. I saw Mr. Krishna. Oh, boy. There, sorry. My apologies.
No worries at all. So I just have a very quick comment, 3 points, okay? I wrote it down because I know that it's going to be late and I didn't want to forget stuff that I wanted to say. It is unfortunate that today this BOE is faced with a difficult decision that directly impacts the people of our town. Many of our citizens are struggling with an economy that has been plagued by higher costs of living. Our elected officials in Trenton made an election promise of restoring funding to our district and making the funding formula transparent to all. I'm extremely disappointed that not only did they not keep their promise, but instead chose to place the burden of unpopular financial decisions on a group of 9 non-partisan elected volunteers. This board is being taxed with an unfavorable financial decision which should have been the responsibility of the legislature. During this process, my board colleagues and the administration both have been hugely helpful by sharing the information that I need about a large number of queries that I had and that were raised and discussed. I'd like to express my gratitude for this teamwork. Lastly, today we are in a sink or swim situation. Consequences of this inaction comes with enormous challenges. Please note that my vote today is based on careful considerations, deliberations, discussions, and some arguments, and a deeper understanding of the huge implications that we will be faced with due to inactions. And lastly, my love for South Brunswick. While this budget aims to create a degree of stability, I'd like everyone to know we will be faced with the same set of variables again next year, and by no means should today's action be understood as a panacea for our continued financial situation in the years to come. I request every citizen of this town to be more financially aware of the line items in the school budget. I understand it can be confusing or even ambiguous. If so, please ask your questions and get clarifications. I humbly request that all of us base our discussion on specifics and facts rather than generalized feelings and opinions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Mr. Krishna, Ms. Khan, any comments? No? Mr. Krishna? No? It's fine. Ms.
Hernandez.
Ms. Hernandez?
Yeah. So my colleagues have spoken so eloquently and have prepared, and I just kind of have been listening to everything that's been going on. And like Ms. Karthik said, we have had so many discussions and so many presentations, and we love each other, and we were screaming at each other because we needed to get our point across. Some of the things I want to say is when we look at our budget in South Brunswick, and we have 60% of our budget is for the school, and the other things are for like roads and stuff like that. I drive down New Road, they're putting in new pipes, hallelujah. They're paving it, hallelujah. But that's coming out of our taxes. I don't see anybody protesting that. I don't see anybody flipping out about that. I don't see anybody asking the municipal building, can we have a say in how you're raising our taxes? But when we sit here talking about our most important assets, our children, we're getting hammered. We're getting nailed. Why are you doing that? Miss Rogers, we hounded her so bad, and I'm like, I need to see figures. And the woman that came up here and spoke, you're absolutely right. Just tell me what I'm paying. What do I need to know? I don't understand all this really in-depth stuff. So what we're getting taxed on is the assessment of your house. So Ms. Rogers gave us an example, and they've looked at it and everything. A house that will sell in South Brunswick for over $1 million is assessed at
$293.
$290.
Not all houses, but just
This
as an
house,
example.
this house,
Just an
this
example.
house. This is an example. I'm just giving you guys examples. It was assessed at $293,000. Now, Zulo said we'll pay $1 million for that, but it got assessed at $293,000. That's where the increase is coming. At your so our $900,000 home, bless you people that can afford that. You're not paying on that. You're paying on your small assessment on that. We have not raised taxes on our children in over 6 years. Not on other things in South Brunswick, but on our kids. So I thank the township that I'm not blowing out a tire with these potholes anymore, but I'm also paying for that. But I'm not flipping out on them because of that. I need to make that clear. I also need to, if we go up to 7.0, okay, Lisa ran the numbers on that, the increase from 7.0 to 8.9 is 1.9%. The average South Brunswick resident at a house assessed at $293,000, but can sell, according to Zulo, over $1 million. The difference is $78.61 annually. Now, by going up to 8.9, all of us here, I gotta imagine, have a savings account. Because God forbid you pop that tire because South Brunswick didn't fill that pothole. I better be able to pay for that. So I gotta have that little bit of cushion. I gotta have that little bit of emergency money. So going from that 7.0 up to 8.9 gives our district that little bit of safety we need for our babies, our most important assets. Now, Mr. Feder jumped the gun on me. He didn't even realize when he got up there and he says something about the sports and the music. I'm sitting there going, oh my God, that's so awesome. I'm so proud of these kids. That will disappear. That's not a threat. That's a reality. And for us to not let that happen because of $78 for the year, I just can't.
At the highest.
At the highest. I can't fathom that. Lower for how much, Lisa?
So $160,000 home assessment, which may sell for $600,000. The difference between 7% and 8.9% is $47 annually, or $4 a month.
Annually. So going from 7.0 to going to 8 point, and this was part of our arguments that we were having amongst each other. It's so minimal, it's almost insulting. It's just so minimal. There were so many other things I had to say that I also want you guys to know that we have that pay to play. But if our children, we have children in this district that can't, that are in financial struggles, that their parents are laid off. Well, we don't say, sorry, too bad, so sad, you don't play. They all play. We pay for that. That comes out of our budget. That's one of our whatever, right, in our accounts. We have kind of that money to do that for them. So that comes out of our little savings account, our little cushion account. If we don't have that cushion account, we can't help our babies in this area. So even though they spoke so eloquently, David smiled at me.
She's always on a roll. I want to know where the cushion account is.
I want to know that too. Where's the account? But the 1.9, I'm stressing. I'm talking about. I am. I'm talking about because I don't like I said, David. Yes, thank you. This one. So the capital expenses account, the extracurriculum account. If you want to go through this page after page after line after line after line, I am telling you that if we don't do this, we won't have that. We just won't. To say what's going to happen in 2-3 years, we don't know. We don't know what the governor's going to say. Where's the state going to come up with what kind of money? So I know that a lot of people want to say, hey, if you vote on this budget in 10 years, I better still see this. Well, we'll probably have to come back here in 10 years or whatever. But I just have to tell you how important this is for our babies. How, like Ms. Carthage said, shame on Trenton for putting us in position to vote on this. Our houses haven't been assessed in who knows how long. So with that, we're here to make this vote. Please don't look so much at the percentages. Look more at the actual numbers and the programs. Not only we will lose, but we will never get back. Amen.
Hear, hear.
Hear, hear.
All right. Any other comments before I make a final comment? Okay, tell us how you really feel, Mr. Hernandez.
It's Italian.
It's Italian. We can say that. All right. So I'm just going to wrap it up real quick. I sent out a chart.
We have a motion on the table.
I know we do,
Okay.
and I have one more comment to make.
Okay,
Thank you.
gotcha.
Thank you, sir. I have one comment to make. Mr. Fetter has posted at every single meeting what a $200,000 assessment will cost these taxpayers. A $200,000 home, total requested annual is $239. That was posted every meeting. A requested new total amount for a $160,000 home will be $193. The difference for a $160,000 home assessment from 7% to 9% is $3.97 monthly. I ran the numbers, I reviewed them, I sent them out to everybody. Those numbers, the $200,000 assessment was in every single meeting. So I want to make that clear. Second, stability is not an option in my eyes. Stability is not an option. Growth and excellence is an option. We haven't had growth and excellence in 6 years. We've had cuts, and we've been able to manage them. I know what's happening in North Brunswick right now, and if you don't know what's happening in North Brunswick right now, I would highly recommend everybody in this town take a look. What's going on at the school district. They just received $30 million, and they can't make it. We haven't received that kind of money. Finally, S2. It's gone after this year. We don't know what SFRA is bringing, but I could darn well tell you I will be the first one in Trenton, as I am right now, fighting for SFRA to be changed because it's not working. And everybody here should be fighting for it too. So don't point fingers here and say we're not doing our job. We're doing everything possible. We live in this town ourselves. I don't want to see taxes go up. So I will continue to fight this stopgap measure
that Trenton has thrown at us will bring stability, but it's not the long-term funding solution. And they need to come up with a better solution, and everybody here should be fighting for that. And that's all I have to say. May we take a vote, please?
Just for people to remember, if you want to abstain or vote no on any particular motion, you can call out that specific motion or item number in your consent agenda.
Thank you, sir.
All righty? Vote on the consent agenda for today's meeting, June 13th, 2024. Ms. Julie Ferrara.
I vote yes, with the exception of 1.55 and 1.56. I vote no on those.
Ms. Laura Hernandez.
Yes.
Ms. Deepa Karthik.
Yes.
Ms. Alicia Khan.
Yes.
Mr. Raja Krishna.
Yes.
Mr. Mike Mitchell.
Yes.
Mr. Barry Nathanson.
Yes.
Dr. Smitha Raj.
Yes.
Ms. Lisa Rogers.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you for Mr. Pulaski. Okay. The final agenda item is the public comment. Second opportunity for public comment on any topic. This is the second opportunity. You are reminded of the previous statement made regarding public comment rules of Policy 0167. Again, at the podium, state your name, spell your name, and announce your place of residence or your group affiliation. Please complete the sign-in sheet. Do we have any members at the public who have pre-registered Mr. Pawlowski? None. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to make a comment at this time? Ma'am?
My name is Victoria Barone. I live in South Brunswick. I live in Gardenia Court in the Summerfield development. I want to thank you all for working on this budget. I've come to every one of these budget meetings to support you. I've seen we did not want our teachers to be laid off. I'm in our schools almost every day, and the morale has been really bad because we were facing such devastating cuts. We cannot have class sizes of 27, 28 kids. That is impossible to deal with. I really want to thank all of you for working so hard on this, and to all the people that went down to Trenton to fight for us. Thank you again very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to make any public comment? Seeing none. Ladies and gentlemen, that ends the 2023-2024 school year. First, happy Father's Day to all that will celebrate on Sunday. Our next scheduled Board of Ed meeting is set for Thursday, July 25, and that will begin the 2024-2025 school year. On behalf of the South Brunswick Board of Education, have a wonderful summer. Thank you to all staff for a wonderful year, and we will see you all here next month. Oh, motion to adjourn. Ms. Hernandez. Ms. Khan, second. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Thank you, South Brunswick, and good night.